Hariom students, we are going to start a new topic now, that is hyperbola. As you see, I have written already the definition of hyperbola as hyperbola is the locus of a movable point which moves in a plane in such a way that the ratio of its distance from a fixed point, that is focus, and distance from a fixed straight line, that is directrix, is always constant, known as E, that is eccentricity, and the value of E is always greater than 1, which is E greater than 1. So in order to explain you, I have taken one diagram over here. Let us take the point P, which is a movable point, which tentatively you can imagine that this one could be moving in this manner. Alright, so P x comma y is the coordinate of this point, and we have taken the directrix, that is this one, ZM. A perpendicular is dropped from P on this ZM, that is PM, and a fixed point S, that is focus, is taken, that is PS. So according to the definition of the hyperbola, that PS by PM should be equal to E, that is why PS is equal to EPM. I hope till this point it is clear to all of you. Now let us derive the standard equation of hyperbola. As you can see, the same diagram is copied over here. Few extra things you can see, that is I have taken in place of S, that is this one, I have taken S1, and an extra point A1 is taken. In fact, what is happening is the hyperbola, if this point P is moving following the definition of hyperbola, then it could be something like this. And how it is something like this, I will explain you over here. As I have already told you that PS1 divided by PM1 should be equal to PS by PM is equal to E, which is greater than 1. So same thing, if it keeps on moving and comes at this A1, then what will happen? This A1 S1 divided by A1 K1 should be equal to E. This one is taken as the directrix. Alright, this line is the directrix, which is what I have written over here. So that is what I have written, A1 S1 divided by A1 K1 is equal to E. So cross multiplication gives you A1 S1 is equal to E A1 K1, that is taken as equation number 1. Again, you can see I have taken A2 S1, means this point and this S1. A2 S1 divided by A2 K1, that is what I have written over here. A2 S1 divided by A2 K1 is equal to E, and cross multiplication will give you A2 S1 is equal to E A2 K1, that is equation number 2. If we add equation number 1 and 2, then we get this relation. Alright, simple calculation. Acha, this A1 S1, you try to locate A1 S1, we can write C S1 minus C A1. This A1 S1, this length can be written as C S1 minus C A1. That is what I have written, C S1 minus C A1. Similarly, this A2 S1, A2 S1 is written as A2 C plus C S1. That is what I have written over here, A2 C plus C S1. Then E is taken over common, and A1 K1, you try to locate A1 K1 can be written as C A1 minus C K1, which is what I have written over here, C A1 minus C K1. And this A2 K1, A2 K1 can be written as A2 C plus C K1, A2 C plus C K1, that is what I have written here. Now after simple calculation, this whole thing will become 2CS1, and this whole thing will become E multiplied by 2CA1. As you see, CA1 is equal to A2C. CA1 is equal to A2C. This C is in fact nothing but it is the origin, and this line is your x-axis and this line is your y-axis. Similarly, now we can subtract 1 from 2, then we are getting this result. Simple calculation, that is what I have written. A2S1 minus A1S1 is over here, and E is taken common from these two, and A2K1 minus A1K1, A2K1 minus A1K1. Same way, A2S1 can be written as this, A2C plus CS1, you can see the diagram, and A1S1 can be written as CS1 minus CA1, you can see the diagram. A2K1 can be written, A2 A2K1 can be written as A2C plus CK1, and A1K1 can be written CA1 minus CK1. After that, on opening the bracket, we are getting 2CA1 is equal to 2E into 2CK1. 2 will get cancelled. We are left with CA1 is equal to E CK1. So finally, this CA1 is taken as a small a, and this CK1 as it is, and E is brought down. So CK1 is equal to A by E, that is, this CK1 is taken as x, that is the x coordinate. So x is equal to A by E is the equation of the directrix. I hope till this point it is clear to all of you. Okay, so finally, one more thing I have missed out. Okay, this one. This, after simplification, we are getting 2C1 CS1 is equal to E 2CA1. So finally, CS1 is equal to ECA1, and CA1 is taken as a small a, and CS1 is equal to AE, that can be taken as the focus. So coordinates of focus is AE comma 0. Alright, and after subtraction, what is getting is the equation of the directrix. X is equal to A by E, which is what I have explained you already. Now coming to the diagram once again. Okay, equation of direct, this x is equal to A by E. From that, if this A by E is brought this side, means left hand side, then we are getting x minus A by E is equal to 0. So the equation of the directrix can be written as Ex minus A is equal to 0. Now again we have to find out the standard equation of the hyperbola. So for that, what we have done is, again we have taken PS divided by PM1 is equal to E. PS1 divided by PM1 is equal to E. Then cross multiplication gives you PS1 is equal to E PM1. This PS1 using the distance formula, if this point P x comma y, then distance formula could give you x minus AE whole square plus y minus 0 whole square root of that, which is what I have written over here. And using the distance formula, you remember in the straight line we have already done, that is Ex minus A. On this straight line, if the perpendicular is drawn from P x comma y, then the length of perpendicular could be obtained by using this particular formula. I hope you remember that ax1 plus by1 plus c modulus inside that whole divided by root over a square plus b square. That was the perpendicular distance of a point x1 y1 from the straight line ax plus by plus c equal to 0. If you don't remember, then go through the previous notes. I have already explained all this. So now simple calculation of this whole thing means squaring both sides, we are getting this whole thing, and after calculation we come across finally this particular relation. Okay, this e square x square is taken to the left hand side and a square e square taken to the right hand side. so that a square bracket open 1 minus e square we are left with in the right hand side, and in the left hand side from this x square and e square x square is taken common 1 minus e square. Then we are dividing throughout by a square bracket 1 minus e square, so that we are getting this relation. In the right hand side we are left with 1. Then we get x, these two will get cancelled. So we are left with x square by a square plus y square divided by a square. 1 minus e square is equal to 1. Finally, this whole thing is taken as b square. That is what I have written here. So b square is equal to a square bracket open e square minus 1. This a is actually taken as the transverse axis, and b is nothing but it is the conjugate axis. We will discuss it in the next video. Finally, what we are getting is a square is brought this side, then b square by a square is equal to e square minus 1, and 1 is taken to the left hand side, then b square by a square plus 1 is equal to e square. So finally e is coming as root over a square plus b square by a, although it should have been plus minus, but eccentricity is not negative, so because of that only the positive sign is taken. I hope till this point it is clear to all of you. Let us come to the length of the latus rectum. Alright, as you remember, in the case of ellipse, we have discussed that latus rectum is nothing but it is the perpendicular length of perpendicular drawn through the focus, and which cuts the ellipse at 2 points. But over here it is not ellipse, it is hyperbola, so 2 points are taken as L1, L2, and this perpendicular which is drawn through the focus is considered as the latus rectum. I hope the point is clear to all of you. Now if the coordinates of this point, that is S1, is AE comma 0, then any point taken on this straight line, the x coordinate will be AE only. So that is what I have written as AE, and the y coordinate I have taken as L. Now let us, as you are finding that this L1 A comma L lies on the hyperbola, and the equation of hyperbola was this. So in place of x we can write AE, that is what A is A square E square, and A square are getting cancelled. We are left with E square minus y square by B square. In place of y we can take L. I have forgotten to write that. Okay, let me just correct it. This can be written as L square by B square. Similarly, here also it should be L square. So I have taken actually y only. So this will be L square. So L is equal to plus minus V square by A. So finally what we are getting is the coordinates of L1 is AE comma B square by A, and coordinates of L2 is AE comma minus B square by A. I hope till this point it is clear. And length of latus rectum can be found L1 L2 is equal to, by using this calculation you can find out the length of latus rectum is nothing but 2B square by A. That is what I have written over here. Now let us come to the focal distance. Focal distance is nothing but, suppose if P x comma y be any point on the hyperbola, this one, then uh, this PS1 and PS2, this S2 is nothing but it is the second focus. Then PS1 and PS2 lengths are taken as the uh, focal distances. Now you remember that the PS1 divided by PM1, this is the perpendicular drawn from P on this directrix. So PS1 divided by PM1 will be equal to E. So finally PS1 is equal to EPM. As you see, this PM can be written as this length PM is nothing but it is equal to K1N. Alright, I hope you can make out. This PM1 is equal to K1N, that is what I have written here, and K1N can be written as Cn minus Ck1. Cn, I am talking about this Cn minus Ck1, that is what I have written here, and Cn is nothing but it is the x, means the coordinate of this point P is x comma y, so Cn must be, as C is taken as origin, so Cn is equal to x, that is what I have written, minus Ck1. Ck1, you remember this was the directrix and this length was taken, proved as A by E. So that is what I have written, A by E. And E, when it is taken inside, then it becomes Ex minus A, that is your equation number 1. Similarly, if we talk about this PS2, alright, then PS2 can be written as PS2 divided by PM2. That is what I have written here. PS2 by PM2 is equal to E. So PS2 is equal to EPM2, and PM2, you try to locate in the diagram. PM2, this length I am talking about, is equal to K2N. Alright, and K2N can be written as K2C plus Cn. This is what I have written, K2C plus Cn. K2C is nothing but it is A by E, and Cn is equal to x. So finally what we are getting, PS2 is equal to, when E is taken inside, then this becomes A and this becomes Ex. So that is your equation number 2. Alright, so this equation number 1 and 2 we are getting. If we subtract P2 from 1, then we get PS2 minus PS1. Final calculation gives you 2A. And if 1 minus 2 we are doing, then PS1 minus PS2 is equal to minus 2A. But the sum of the focal distances cannot be negative. So because of that, we can put this whole thing in the modulus sign. PS1 minus PS2 is equal to, then finally we will get 2A. Alright, so this is what we, till this point you people go through. Then I will make one more video maybe for the conjugate hyperbola. This one was the transverse hyperbola. We will talk about the conjugate hyperbola in the second one. Alright, thank you.